telling me about this Illuminati shit while I'm in jail, right? Like, the dollars and all that.
Right.
That's another way to keep your self-esteem low. That's another way to keep you unconfident.
Right.
And I'm putting the K because I'm killing that Illuminati shit. Trust me, if these motherfuckers wanted to kill you, why the fuck they gonna tell Farrakhan? Why they gonna tell the Nation of Islam? Why they gonna tell this nigga in jail about the plan? How did he know?
Right.
How did it leak to him? Who told him? Who told him? The Pope?
All throughout this year, the powers that shouldn't be, the mainstream media, they've been working to divide, terrorize, provoke the people of the world, really, the U.S. and elsewhere. Again, the Jesuits operate in 112 countries worldwide, and they operate on a global scheme because their goal is to have everyone bow the knee to the church and the Pope. And here we are in the time of the first Jesuit Pope. What the Jesuits have been doing since at least 1871 when they took over Washington, D.C. after the Civil War, after it was bankrupted. And understand, this is what Jesuits have done throughout history. They have tactics, order out of chaos, divide and conquer. They're also responsible for Sun Tzu's Art of War and how the Jesuits have instigated all of these major wars in history, bringing us to where we now are, where we now, we couldn't be any more divided as a people. It's all by design. It's all about world domination. It's all about holding people down, keeping them fighting over things that are just here to keep them fighting amongst themselves, which includes political parties, which includes religion. The thing that they want is chaos and the puppet show. And if you're out there taking sides and saying, well, I'd rather have this candidate than this candidate, then you're just fools for these people's games. Your attitude should be like, okay, how the fuck do I help raise awareness about what's actually going on so these people don't lead us all to another civil war and possibly worse? That should be the reaction. If in your mind all you're still stuck between is Biden and Trump, then realize you're under severe mind control. You're like in a Jesuit coma. Any truth channel that's taking sides in this thing, or like, look at how many truth channels right now are reading certain news sources to debunk other news sources. It's like, do these people not get the game yet, that they pump out different sources of information so that people that agree with those ideas can read more about those ideas and get invested in that? And then people who are more into these ideas, they can get invested in these different ideas over here. This is what the mainstream media has been more and more in the entire 21st century. When did Fox News launch? At the end of the 90s? Fox News really created an even more polarizing push in media. And that's all it is. Every year, just trying to drive a wedge further and further between people. But I'm amazed by how many people think that they're truth channels. And they're taking this news story over here to debunk this news story over here. I mean, no, you're not debunking anything. You're just getting caught up in all the different propaganda that's being put out there, and you're picking a side, not seeing the bigger picture, not understanding the scheme of why things are done the way they are. It's a mockery, you guys, and it's very clear who did it. The Society of Jesus. The historical trail is there. English, given to us by a Catholic monk 1,000 years ago. 600 years later, in the 16th century, standardized as a 26-letter alphabet. At the same time, a calendar's coming out named after the Pope. And the church's plan is to dominate Earth. We tell time on Earth with a 52-week calendar, which, when you really think about it, doesn't make a lot of sense. Why is there 28 days in this month, this many days in this month? None of this is explained. Realize, the people who play the games, they own a lot of the people that think are the chief villains of the world. From Bill Gates, to the Rothschilds, to the Rockefellers, to a lot of the you-know-whos. Go back and look at that article from October 6, 1940 in the Jesuit-run New York Times. You'll see the headline that day was New World Order Pledged to Jews. It's not hard to see who pledged it to them. The same people who've been running the show since way before 1940. And notice they did that right before the Holocaust officially began 2 years later. These people playing the world for fools, doing everything by the code day after day. It's been going on for centuries. English is the language of the world. That's why they do it in English, the language that's pushed all over the world. We'll leave it there, Truth Seeker.